Coach Mangini back with us now. Coach, who do you think's got more to gain with a win on Sunday? Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
This is a tough one to navigate through. When you look at Tom's situation, I just read a stat that said he's won more playoff games without Bill Belichick than Bill's won without Tom Brady. So if you look at it in comparison of legacies, he's getting an edge there, and to be able to win this game and go to the Super Bowl and see how that plays out, it's not that he needs to solidify his legacy, but I think the question becomes, what type of role each person in that relationship played. So that would help Tom. From Aaron's perspective, here's a guy who carried the team last year with a rookie head coach, and that's hard. That's hard because there's a lot of mistakes as a rookie head coach you make, and he helped that team overcome a lot of those mistakes. And then fast forward to the draft, and they take a quarterback with the #1 overall pick, where imagine if they had spent that somewhere else now and had either another weapon or another defensive player, and you have that component of it. So he's not going anywhere in Green Bay. He's definitely going to be there next season. He may end up playing out the whole contract, but from a legacy perspective, for him to get to the Super Bowl and potentially win the Super Bowl, that's where he's so different than Tom Wright.
Coach, listen, I don't think there's anything Aaron Rodgers can do to move up that chart of, where am I at on an all-time great list when you talk about quarterbacks. I don't think there's anything he can do to cement his legacy. It is what it is. Aaron Rodgers is going to go down as a top 5 all-time quarterback. That's what it is. If he wins this Super Bowl, nothing changes. I've said it for the entire year, all year. This organization has botched the Aaron Rodgers era. When you look at the all-time great quarterbacks, you look at their hands, they have multiple rings. Tom Brady, Joe Montana. Aaron Rodgers is supposed to have 3 to 4 rings right now on those fingers, and he don't. So I don't think there's anything they can do there. But to your point in Tom Brady, you talk about legacy. Right now, we're talking about him as the GOAT. We're talking about him as the greatest player of all time, the greatest quarterback of all time. If he goes to the Super Bowl and if he wins it, now we're talking about Tom Brady as potentially the greatest athlete of all time. So I think he has more to gain, Nick, because of him doing it without Bill Belichick and doing it in this fashion.
Yeah, I get that with Brady, that he's almost transcending football, and your question is, can he eventually catch Serena Williams and LeBron James in the greatest athlete of all time discussion? I would argue.
No, I said Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan.
No, I didn't hear the Jordan part. Serena and LeBron's probably the list. Usain Bolt wants something about that. Muhammad Ali, maybe. We can get to those guys. But I vehemently disagree with you on Rodgers, because I think you look at Rodgers differently than a lot of the audience. You just said he's top 5 all-time quarterback. I think a lot of people disagree with you. So Brady, Montana, Manning, yeah, I think right now most people say Brady, Montana, Manning are the top 3. And if we're not even going to include the Johnny Unitas era, throw the old-timers out, because I'm not even sure they actually existed. Coach will tell me they did, but I see no proof of it. So now there's only 2 spots available. Some people would say Elway, and now you've got Favre, Breeze, Marino, Staubach, Bradshaw, Rodgers. Like, where does he fit in? And so I think he does need another ring to cement himself as a top 5 all-time guy, especially, Brandon, I'll throw it back to you quickly. Think about this. The moniker on Rodgers was most talented quarterback ever. Then Patrick Mahomes came in and elbowed him off that corner. What if Rodgers gets his second ring by beating in the Super Bowl Patrick Mahomes? And he's like, hey, who's the most talented quarterback ever now? Now I've got 2 rings. So I do think Rodgers has a lot more to gain than Brady, because at least in the football world, Brady's already the GOAT, Brandon.
Okay. All right, so, Coach, let me ask you this question with everything Nick just said. Who would you take, Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers? I'm putting you on the spot here. Your team right now, you building your offense. Who do you want, Peyton Manning? Who would you take?
Look, here's what I'll tell you is I could win a lot of games with either of those cats. And give me,
Don't be diplomatic, Coach. Don't be diplomatic.
I'm being 100% honest. You inherit one of those guys, and it's like winning the quarterback lottery. And you should win. You should win a lot of Super Bowls. But to your point earlier, Brandon, when you said that Green Bay has botched things in the Aaron Rodgers era, it kind of goes against the idea that Tom Brady can go to a new organization and suddenly, regardless of what that organization's done since 2007, and bring him to the playoffs, and then bring him to the NFC Championship game. So you'd think that those players, those elite players, would be able to continue to elevate and win the Super Bowls. That would be the argument. And I like what Nick says. If you beat Tom Brady,
but in Tampa, Coach. But in Tampa, they got a top five defense all year. That's the difference between Aaron Rodgers, and that's why they botched it, because they've never helped him on that side of the ball, Wilds, ever.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.